Hi, everybody. Welcome to our project search information session for Bergen County. We're going to start off at the very beginning. Project search started in 1996 at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Erin Riley was the head nurse in the emergency department. And just out of pure curiosity, after seeing a lot of patients with various disabilities and a lot of volunteers in the hospital, she just got to wondering why there weren't more people employed by the hospital. So she went to the education department and she was thinking of some kind of pilot to get going to expand training and employment opportunities for people with disabilities. They gave her the go-ahead, so she reached out to a local transition expert, Susan Ratowski, and together they came up with a model program called Project Search. At the same time, there was a lot of high turnover in support positions. These positions didn't require high-level training. It was mostly short to moderate term job training. The hospital was introducing a diversity initiative, and then nationally, the hospital associations were also calling for increase in disability employment opportunities. This idea went from an idea to a pilot to a dedicated in-house program very quickly within 2 years. And today, as of this recording, there are over 714 program sites in 48 states and 10 countries, and over 43,000 people have been served since 2010. Today, every program is still licensed through Cincinnati Children's Hospital. They have a strict model that everybody has to abide by. And, so nobody can just start a program. They have to get it approved and they're regularly monitored by National Project Search. In a nutshell, it is a one-year internship program, business-led transition to work program for individuals with disabilities that takes place entirely at the business host site. It's not a work adjustment program or a job shadowing program or an evaluation program. It is an innovative, business-driven employment and training program for young adults with disabilities. Its focus is a bit different from other transition programs that we're familiar with. The hallmarks of Project Search are, number one, the total workplace immersion. We will talk about all these things in more depth as we go on. The singular goal of competitive employment, you'll hear us mention this over and over again because the number one goal to get into the program and our goal for every intern is competitive employment at the end of the program for every graduate. And the philosophy of Project Search is to provide an opportunity, an atmosphere of high expectations. So Project Search provides a level of exposure to the working world that's rarely available to young adults with disabilities. How do we achieve the competitive employment for our interns? Number one, it's the extensive skills training. It's the hard skills, the hard soft skills and hard skills, change in habits, the mindsets, and learning employer expectations. The interns aren't in the program to learn a particular job. They're here to acquire skills that are applicable to many different occupations. Number two, the post-internship employment. We will develop an employment plan and we will assist you with job search and placement. And then also number three, long-term follow-along. So the program support goes beyond the end date of the program. Everybody will be connected to the supports they need to obtain, retain, and advance in jobs now and into the future. Just what I said, everybody intern is going to be linked to the appropriate services before the program begins and receive ongoing support after the program ends to ensure successful transition to employment. What do we expect from our interns? Number one, 100% attendance. Now we know not everybody can do 100%. People get sick and stuff like that, but it's very important. That's the number one thing is, you need to show up, not call out sick a lot, or else you're not going to be able to hold a job, right? Utilizing independent transportation. That's another thing we'll talk about is there is travel training included in the program, maintaining appropriate workplace behavior, gaining new skills in each internship. Our goal is that you come out of the program with a stack of skills that can be applied to a number of different occupations. Reducing job coaching dependency and achieving a competitive employment. What does National Project Search expect from us? Number one, every project search site has to enter their data into a national database. The database is monitored regularly, and each site is expected to achieve a minimum of 70% outcomes, positive outcomes for employment. Project Search will not hesitate to shut down underperforming sites. They would rather have a few sites that are doing really, really well and keeping the reputation going than having ones that aren't doing so well. And then Project Search continues to expand because it is a results-oriented program with historical data. What do we mean by competitive employment? According to Project Search, what they consider a successful outcome is a minimum of 16 hours a week, paying the prevailing wage for that job, minimum wage or higher, year-round, not seasonal or temporary work, and in an integrated setting. So you're with coworkers, with and without disabilities. And we'll talk about more about the hours and the kinds of jobs also. Outcomes that are not acceptable is any job the intern could have done before attending Project Search, right? We want to increase their skills so they could to apply to better opportunities. Placement and day programs, workshops, subsidized wages, and referrals to secondary training programs. That doesn't mean that we're discouraging people to continue their education. We have a lot of interns that did go on to college or other training, but they did it alongside their job. Just like everybody else, we have our part-time job or a full-time job, and we take classes online or in person on the weekends or, at nights alongside our job. And then let's talk about the outcomes a little bit. That red line represents the 70% minimum that Project Search National expects every site to achieve. The yellow bar is all the Project Search sites internationally, the rate that they have achieved. The bluish greenish color, the bar, is Bergen County. We started Project Search in 2016, and since then, we've met or exceeded the 70% outcome benchmark. And you'll see even at 2019, that was during the pandemic, and we were only I can't say for sure the only program, but we were one of the only programs that continued to run the program during the pandemic. And we were able to, with the help of the county executive and everybody at the county government building, bring them, because government doesn't stop even during a pandemic. They're working harder than ever. So we were able to safely still give interns and experience different internships at the county building, which eventually became one of our full-time business host sites. Again, you could see we've met or exceeded our benchmarks, and last year, we don't have all the numbers in yet, but we did receive 2 awards at the national conference, one for 100% employment and the other one for 80 to 90% employment. And just a quick note, so that little blurb on the bottom, you can see from the Department of Labor information that the labor participation rate for people with disabilities over 16 is 23.2%. Project Search has amazing outcomes compared to the generic data for individuals with disabilities getting into the workforce. Where are interns now? They're pretty much everywhere. This is just a sampling, and it changes all the time. The thing to remember is that we work with you to meet your goals. Some people come in to the program and they are dead set. They know exactly what they want to do. They want to work in retail. They want to work in IT or graphic design. It runs the gamut. Sometimes their minds change during the program because they're exposed to different opportunities that they become interested in. As the year progresses along, we're going to find you a job that you're happy to go to every day because we want you to be successful. The other thing that makes Project Search different than other programs is the collaboration among the partners. The national program provides the technical assistance and the overall leadership and oversight. The local advisory board in the county, we monitor the local program and the progress and the outcomes. But the program forces all these agencies that typically work in silos to work together, to share our knowledge, our resources, and our ideas, and put everything together. So you're talking workforce agencies, private sector, business leaders, education, folk rehab, community rehabilitation agencies, long-term support, supported employment agencies, and disability advocates. Every program sets it up a little bit different, but this is what it looks like in Bergen County. We have the County of Bergen that gives us the budget every year, pays for the recurring licensing fees and other fees. Right now, the Bergen County Workforce Development Board oversees the count, in a broad view. They run the advisory board and oversee the programs. Bergen County Special Services is our lead school district for our high school program, the receiving district. The Arc of Bergen and Passaic and North Jersey Friendship House are our agencies that provide the skills trainers, and the local school districts and programs. They are very familiar with the program. They make a lot of referrals, friends and family, word of mouth, Division of Vocab Rehab, on the local level and the state level. The state also provides us funding to pay for one skills trainer at each site. And then, of course, DDD for the adult program. We have somebody that we work closely with the program to, help get everything together and move everything along. And right now, as of this recording, we have 3 sites. So the high school site is at Holy Name Medical Center, and the 2 adult sites, we have one at Newbridge Medical Center and the County of Bergen, the administrative campus. So we are here to support your desire to work, and we'll do everything we can to help you succeed, but you must have the desire to work and be an active participant. And ideally, having the support of friends and family really helps out a lot. We're going to take a break for 1 minute to show you a quick video. And hold on. And then we'll be back.
Work defines us. If you're at any kind of a social gathering and you meet someone for the first time, typically the first question out of their mouth is, what do you do? Meaning, where do you work? People with disabilities don't often get to answer that question. I want to change that. Everybody needs to be able to answer the question, where do you work? What do you do?
My name is Elizabeth Ledoux, and I work in the kitchen. Like to socialize with a lot of the guests. It really makes my day when they talk to me and stuff like that.
Project Search is a program that prepares people with disabilities to enter the workforce and really be part of the greater community. And what Project Search does is provides opportunities for folks with disabilities to learn marketable employment skills and allows them the opportunity to get jobs perhaps that they wouldn't otherwise.
My name is Aaron Freeman. I am a Project Search graduate, and I work at St. Joseph's Hospital in the kitchen department as an RN. I like the food. I like the customers, of course. It's just a good place to work.
Project Search is a sector-based training program, and what that involves is having individuals with disabilities learn skills within a sector, and they cycle through different internships throughout the course of a school year, and there's also a classroom component.
We take interns into clinical rotations here in the hospital, and they get to try out different types of experiences. They knew that I liked to cook, so they worked with me on cooking and wanted to get me into a job. At the end of the 30 weeks, we're hopeful that they'll all find opportunities in the community with local employers, but it gives them a very strong leg up in being gainfully employed.
Honestly, our reasons to join in the efforts with Project Search were really selfish. We had a brand new hotel to fill, and we found that Project Search graduates were a great fit. We ended up hiring half of the graduating class. Project Search has a really high placement rate, 90%, which is really quite remarkable. Also, we have a very good long-term placement. So folks that get jobs through Project Search tend to stay in their jobs, and that's really important.
everything we do has to be designed to help the young people that are in the program get the soft skills and the job skills that they need to get a competitive job.
They match your like personality and they let you know like this is what you want to work on. It's very fun because you get to meet a lot of people and you get to make a lot of friends.
There's no question. The intern that the parents or guardians give to us in September is very different from the intern we had back at the end of the year.
I was always shy. I'd have to rely on people to talk for me at times. Now I don't have an issue with that. I can actually talk for myself without having second thoughts. It made me more confident because it taught me to speak up for myself and think for myself. And that's what I needed. Aaron Freeman has been here now 5 years. People recognize that he was motivated to succeed, and everyone who interacted with him thought that he would be a good addition.
Aaron will be here as long as he wants to be, I'm sure, because he is such a dedicated, caring employee.
I started to develop more skills, become more independent. I like when I got into the kitchen. That's where I belong.
I really look forward to going to work. I make things like very like positive and upbeat for a lot of people and I think it really makes their day like, happier and brighter.
Liz is great. She's always fun. It's fun coming to work with Liz. When I first met Liz, I didn't even know she was part of the program. She just does so much for us.
Project Search got me out of my shell because I was very scared to like talk to people. If I didn't have Project Search, I don't really think I would be here. I think I would be at a job that I don't really like. And I'm happy that I went through that program because I made a lot of progress. I'm very proud of myself and I'm really like happy.
Confidence in ourselves, the way we hold ourselves, the way we communicate, the way we talk to people, the way we look at people, is probably one of the skills that I see most often in our Project Search graduates finishing the program successfully.
My goal was to be employee of the month. I got it. And I wanted a raise. I was really pushing for it. I got the raise. I still get pretty bad anxiety once a lot of like the guests come in all at once. And I'll be like, no, I got this.
If I didn't go to Project Search, I probably wouldn't be working at my dream job right now. And I probably would have an idea of what I want to do.
You can't help but be changed when you work closely with the folks with Project Search.
We want every employee to shine and we want them to reach their full potential. People with disabilities aren't any different.
You learn a lot. As much as you teach them, they teach you so much more.
If anybody is second guessing about going to Project Search, don't, because they will love it. They won't be disappointed.
Okay, so we echo almost everything said in that video. We hear all the time, the person that goes into the program is not the same person that comes out of the program. It's amazing in 10 months, the progress that you actually see. I've seen parents cry in meetings. They just can't believe the change in their young adults. It is an amazing program. Okay, so now to more of the technical, in-depth stuff. Project Search is funded in a variety of ways. We kind of braid our funding. So we have in-kind agencies, the business host, the County of Bergen, the Workforce Development Board. They provide the internships, the training room. They help with outreach, events, the licensing, staff development, all those good things. Like I mentioned before, the State Department of Voc Rehab, they fund one skills trainer at each Project Search site throughout the state. And then the intern cost for the high school program, it's a per intern cost paid by the sending school district. And we could talk about that more, the specifics of that, of that. But it basically, you know, you have the budget and divided by the number of interns, and that would be the cost. And in the adult program, it's paid through by DDD budget. Whatever level tier that you're at, it will be paid by your DDD budget. If you do not have DDD or you don't qualify through DDD, there is an out-of-pocket option, which we can discuss with you. How does Project Search impact everybody? Well, for student, for one, increases their confidence, their independence. Like I said, they're a different person coming out of the program than when they came in. It's really, really amazing to watch the progress. Family and friends, like I said, their perceptions are altered, their expectations are increased. And then also at the business host site, in the workplace, it develops a positive presence of people with disabilities in the workplace. A lot of people don't even, you know, the word disability can mean a million different things. And it really promotes a culture of change. It really changes the lives. They kind of mentor each other, right? So the interns are being mentored by the employees of the business host site, but the interns, without even realizing it, they're mentoring their mentors. It's really a beautiful thing to watch. The basic eligibility requirements for high school, being between the ages of 18 and 21 years old, having a documented disability, being eligible for DBRS services, and completed all the credit requirements for graduation, and will be entering into their last year of high school or high school eligibility. We do encourage interns to come, depending on how many years they have left, we do encourage them to go maybe to other transition programs and then come into Project Search in their last year. And, you know, the high school, no matter what, you have to have completed all your credits for graduation. The high school will hold your diploma until the end of the Project Search program, where hopefully you will be entering employment. Again, so the intern agrees to accept their diploma and exit the school program upon completion. So that's why we encourage people to come in at their last year of eligibility. We have some people that come in earlier, but we really encourage them to, you know, get as much training and education and experience as they can before they're coming into the program. And sometimes other people, they're at 18 and they're ready to graduate and they're ready for Project Search. Everybody's different. Many, like I said, many enter the program when they turn 20. Many successful graduates after 1 or 2 years in traditional transition programs. But also, number one, you got to get approval from your school district to apply. For the adult program, between the ages of 18 and 30 and have exited the school system or special education program. We say 18 to 30, it's not a hard stop at 30. We've had people older than 30, but traditionally, if you've been out of school from 18 and not held a job or anything, and you're over 30 years old, your chances of succeeding the program are lower. We do look at everybody on an individual basis. So don't let that 30-year-old cutoff deter you. You know, if you're interested, please reach out and we'll speak to you. And also having a documented disability, eligible for DBRS services. And then if you do have DDD already, you have to get approval from your support coordinator. Now, one important thing to mention is that individuals can apply for DDD, and we encourage them to apply as early as possible. The earliest you can apply is 18 years old, but you cannot receive the funding or use it until you turn 21. So it's always a good idea to get it while you're younger, get it as early, because the process does take a while. And you want to have that in place before you enter the program. And then also for both programs, the ability to maintain appropriate hygiene, social behavioral and communication skills. Now, that's some of the things that we work on. Nobody's perfect when they come in, but they have to be able to accept feedback, to work on those things if that's something that they need to work on. Also be willing to use independent transportation, personal or public options. Like I said, we will provide travel training during the summer before the program begins. We will talk about all those different options. Past employer requirements, depending on the host site, you might have to do a background check, vaccinations, all different things. So it depends which site you're assigned to. And then again, number one, have the desire to achieve competitive employment. The ideal candidate for project search is kind of the individual in the middle. It's not the person that needs intense one-on-one job coaching, a job coach with them the whole time while they're working, but it's not for the person that's totally self-sufficient and they're going to be okay. It's for the person in the middle that needs a little bit more help before going into the workforce. And, that person usually falls through the cracks because there's not a lot of program opportunities for them. Somebody that's committed to 100% or close to 100% attendance and can demonstrate the desire to obtain competitive employment for a minimum at least for 16 hours per week. Also, the support of family and friends is very important, especially when it comes to public transportation and travel arrangements, assisting with attendance and appropriate employability skills. We want the family and friends to communicate with Project Search anytime challenges arise or you want to share successes that are happening outside the program. You can help tap into your personal networks to, help and share job ideas. And then be very open to the feedback and suggestions from the staff when it comes to their employment plan and their job goal. Project Search provides a very high level of program support. We only have 6 to 12 interns per site every year. You get continuous feedback from the program staff, the business liaison, department mentors, coworkers, and the Project Search team. Individual adaptations can be made for job coaching. And of course, we provide the travel training. Project Search combines classroom instruction, employability skills, independent living and social skills, career exploration and preparation, and really this total workplace immersion. That's, we talk about what makes Project Search really different is that, the real life work experience through targeted unpaid internships. And again, the focus is not on a particular job, but on marketable and transferable skill development. What do interns get out of the program? Hopefully a job, but the interviewing and work experience, increased independence and confidence, customized job coaching and job development, continuous support and feedback, travel independence, and individualized career portfolio. Throughout the year, they're going to be making a career portfolio that they could use when they go out into the job market. And then again, the long-term support through DVRS and DDD if you have it. These are just a sample of internship departments that we've had or still have. They continue to evolve. Our interns have all different interests, so we try to, keep it fresh. The interesting part also about Project Search is that they're going to look at the internships available, almost like looking at a job board. You're going to talk with the staff which ones you're interested in. You're going to apply to them, interview for them, and then be accepted. And you're going to we'll go through this later, but a series of 3 internship rotations. So you're going to do this 3 times. And then at the end of the internship, you're going to resign. You're really getting that full experience, what it's like to apply for a job, be in the job, resign from a job, and then find a new job. That's also part of what you're learning. So the internships, again, are designed to match the student employment goals. We're going to put you in internships that will give you the stackable skills for whatever, whatever job you're interested in at the end of the program. And that may evolve during the program. You don't have to know what you want. Not everybody does, but our goal is to give you well-rounded stackable skills that could be applied to pretty much anything. Working on the social skills, that's a big one. And also being in an integrated setting and focus on quality and productivity. This is a typical agenda for the high school program, Monday to Friday, typical school day, but you're on the host site the entire day. It's not like other transition programs where you're in high school and they might go out part-time to a job site and then come back to high school, you're at the host site the entire time. So you're getting to the site by independent transportation. In the morning, you go to the training room that's on site. We learn some employability skills. Then you go out to your internship site. Lunchtime, whatever time the department takes lunch, you do that. You can have lunch with other employees in that department. If you make friends with them, you can meet other interns like in the cafeteria. You pretty much do whatever you want for lunch. Then you return to your internship site. And then for the last hour of the day, you go back to the training room just to review your experience for the day and do some additional training. For the adult program, we rearranged it a little bit differently. Monday to Thursday, you're doing that. You're going to the site, going to your internship site, lunch, back to the internship site, and then departing for the day. And then Fridays, you're going to work the full day on employability and skills training. For the adult program, we do that on Fridays instead of 2 hours every day. It just happened to work out better. As far as like the days off and stuff like that, so for the high school program, you're going to go by Bergen County Special Services District's calendar. Same thing for snow days and things like that. You'll be on their messaging system. And then for the adult program, Friendship House is the lead coordinator for that. So whatever their federal holiday, usually typically federal holidays are, those are the days that the program will be closed. And then again, like inclement weather, it depends on Friendship House. Typically, this is the typical calendar. The year begins in September, typically after the holiday. There's a 3-week onboarding orientation where you kind of get your feet wet, get to know your way around the business host site. We get to know you, talk about your goals, and then you'll start your series of internships. Each internship rotation is 10 weeks with a week in between. And in that week in between, you're going to talk about your experience in your previous internship, what your goals are for the next one. And then, like I said, you're going to apply and interview for the next one. And that goes for 3 rotations. And then the year ends in June. And then we have, like a graduation and, celebrate your graduation. But the job development really begins right away, as soon as possible. But it really ramps up after that second internship as we're getting closer to the year. We want to make sure, hopefully, you have some jobs lined up before you graduate. That's the perfect, ideal situation. And then during the year, you have 2 individual intern meetings per internship. That's 6 meetings per intern. They're usually about 20, 30 minutes. So we encourage family, they're virtual. They're led by the intern. We're going to talk about their experiences, their successes, their struggles, all that stuff, how they're doing at home. So we encourage family to join in on that, but you'll also hear from their department mentors how they're doing. It's really great to get in there and participate and see how they're progressing. And then there's an entrance and exit employment planning meetings. And then any special meetings that need to be held, we'll hold them. The application process is pretty much year-round. Applicants that are accepted must participate in a skills assessment and interview day. The advisory committee carries out the selection process after reviewing all the applications, and then they're notified of their acceptance or denial. If accepted, they have to complete all the business host requirements, the travel training, and the summer before the program ends. And then we do an incoming orientation in July, just to refresh everybody's memory and tie up any loose ends. But you could find the full calendar on the Project Search website, which is right here. If you go to bergenprojectsearch.com, it'll bring you here. And this has like all the information. We'll have any information sessions or events you can register here, all the key documents, historical background. Here's the applications that you could download and complete. And then these dates will be updated as needed, but you can see what the current calendar is, and that changes every year, but it's pretty much around the same time. After this recording, we'll go into further detail about these different things. And then, okay, so the key takeaways, number one, the most important criteria into getting into project search is the desire to achieve competitive employment. And just one thing I want to mention there is we know everybody has different benefits, and there are a lot of misconceptions about how many hours you can work and how much you can make per year without losing your benefits. There is a benefits counselor that is available to see you one-on-one through DBRS, and we highly encourage you to make an appointment to meet with them because they will go over your individual situation and tell you exactly how many hours or how much you can make per year. And a lot of times it's a lot more than people thought they were. Also, like we said, support of family and friends is very important towards their path to employment and self-sufficiency. Number three, applicants require very limited one-on-one. So there is support. The staff does come in and out of the internships. They will stay with you for as long as they need to for you to learn whatever particular skill you're working on. But the idea is once you get good at that, for them to like wean off. Then once you get really good at it, we're going to add on another skill. And then they might be with you a little bit longer, but they're not with you the whole day. They're going in and out. Although each department in the business host, there is somebody within that department that is assigned to be like a mentor. There's always somebody there that you can get help from. And then if they can't help you, they will call the staff that's on site and they will, come in and help you. And then number four, I forgot to mention, but which is really important. It doesn't matter where the host site is, because like I said, you're not there to learn a particular job. So if the host site is a hospital, you don't have to want to work in a hospital. You're there to learn transferable and marketable skills. Hospitals are primarily the business host for a lot of project search sites, just because they're so big, they're like a city within themselves, and the variety of internships are endless. From food services to admin to security or IT or environmental, it goes on and on. But the point is it has to be a large employer for us to be able to provide, a variety of internships. So please don't focus on, I don't want to work in administrative building, or I don't want to work at a hospital. It's just an environment to learn. Think of it that way. And that's pretty much it. I mean, as of this recording, these are the contacts. Once this recording stops, if you're joining us live, we will answer all your questions, including, the travel training and all that good stuff. So for now, I thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you soon. We look forward to your applications, and we're all very accessible. So please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help you. So that'll be all from me. Take care.